Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. In Salamanca, nobility isn't just a title, it's a battle for dominance. If you love Tigris and Euphrates, El Grande, or New England, stay tuned. This game could be right up your alley. Salamanca is a strategic board game that combines hand management and tile placement mechanics. Designed by the acclaimed game designer Stefan Dorra and illustrated by Andreas Mack. It is published by Zoke Verlag. The game accommodates 2 to 5 players and lasts about 1 hour. Set in the 16th century in the province of Salamanca, Spain, players assume the roles of ambitious noble families developing their lands. They build fields, forests, and lakes around their castles while navigating challenges such as intrigues, tax collectors, and plagues. Success requires both strategic land development and a cool head, as players compete to become the Duke of Salamanca by amassing the most doubloons. Let's see how the game is played, and I'll give you my final thoughts afterward. 1. Game board. Place the game board in the center of the table. 2. Player tokens. Each player receives a side shield, 3 squire tokens, and 1 Conde token of their color. 3. Landscape tiles. Place 5 landscape tiles with an orange star face up in any field of the game area. Create a face-down pile with the 5 blue star tiles for later use. 4. Drawing stack. Shuffle the remaining tiles face down to form a drawing stack next to the board. Place money coins and plague tokens nearby. 5. Card distribution. For 5 players, use all cards. For 3 players, remove 1 card valued 7 along with all cards valued 8, 9, and 10. Shuffle and deal the cards as equal as possible to all players. Objective: accumulate the most doubloons by building farms, castles, and monasteries on compatible landscapes. Player can place Conde tokens on opponents' buildings to earn income, all while contending with the potential setbacks of greedy competitors and devastating plagues. Game rounds. Each round consists of 5 sections. 1. Filling the tile display. Draw tiles from the stack and place them face up on the tile display. The number of tiles depends on the number of players. 3 players use fields A, B, and C. 4 players use fields A through D. 5 players use all fields. When the drawing stack is depleted, fill the display with tiles from the blue star pile. 2. Playing a card. The player who shouts "Olé" first begins by playing a card face up. Players take turns clockwise. Players may only play cards that have not been played in the current round, except in some rare cases during a 5-player game. The player who played the lowest valued card starts in the following round. 3. Expansion of power. The player who played the highest card starts first, followed by others in descending order. If a player played a value 5 card and it happened to be the lowest card played, the player who played the value 5 card starts instead. Other players follow normally from highest to lowest cards played. Players can perform one of the following actions. Action A. Place tiles, occupy or sell buildings. Action B. Place a Conde token on an opponent's building. Action C. Execute the special function of the played card, only available for cards 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. 4. Give the card to the left neighbor. Players pass the card they just played to the left neighbor, who can use it in future rounds. 5. Weekly market. Players receive money for each region, buildings plus landscapes, valued at 7 or more doubloons. Squire receives 2 doubloons, while the Conde receives 1 doubloon. Landscapes and regions. Landscapes. Each landscape tile is its own entity. Tiles of the same kind extend the landscape when placed orthogonally. Regions. A region consists of an appropriate building and its surrounding landscapes, also placed orthogonally. Gameplay mechanics. Actions. Action A. Place tiles. Players choose a field from the tile display and place tiles on free fields. Occupying a building allows immediate placement of a squire token, while selling a building generates doubloons based on its region value. Each building earns farm 2 doubloons, castle 3 doubloons, monastery 4 doubloons, plus the value of each landscape tile in the region. 1 doubloon for regular landscapes, 2 or 3 for especially fertile landscapes. When selling a region, if a conde is in the same building as the seller, the conde additionally receives the landscape value of the sale, while the seller receives the full amount. Action B. Place a conde token. Place a conde on an opponent's occupied building, 1 conde per occupied building. Action C. Special functions. Execute special actions tied to certain cards. Card 1. Poison. Move the poison token to any empty vineyard or lake tile, rendering it worthless and isolating neighboring tiles. Card 2. Rat. Move the rat token to any empty landscape tile, having its value and the value of any adjacent identical landscapes. Card 3. Locust. Move the locust token to any empty acre, forest or pasture tile, rendering it worthless and isolating neighboring tiles. Card 4. Ruin. Move the ruin token to any building, making it worthless. Card 6. Draw a card. Select an opponent to reveal their hand, allowing you to take 1 card in exchange for one of yours. Plagues. Different plagues affect the game by reducing the value of occupied landscapes or buildings. For example, the ruin token makes buildings worthless. The rat token halves the value of landscape and the value of any adjacent identical landscapes. The locust and poison tokens render the affected landscape tile worthless and isolate neighboring tiles. Game end. The game concludes at the end of the round when the last blue star tile is placed on the display. Players then count their doubloons and the player with the most wins. Salamanca is a strategic board game designed by Stefan Dorra and illustrated by Andreas Mack. Published by Zoc Verlag. Set in 16th century Spain, players assume the roles of noble families, competing to develop their lands by building fields, forests, and lakes. The game combines hand management and tile placement mechanics, accommodating 2 to 5 players in a session. That typically lasts about an hour. Players must navigate challenges such as intrigues and plagues, while striving to amass the most doubloons to become the Duke of Salamanca. The game's theme is rooted in the rich historical context of Salamanca, where players assume the roles of ambitious noble families. As they develop their lands, building fields, forests, and lakes, they must navigate various challenges, including intrigues and plagues. This thematic backdrop adds depth to the gameplay, immersing players in a competitive atmosphere that feels both authentic and engaging. The artwork in Salamanca is quite impressive, evoking a classic aesthetic that complements the game's theme. The color palette features elegant beige tones, giving the game a classy, old-school feel. The illustrations are both beautiful and functional, enhancing the overall experience without overwhelming the gameplay. The components of Salamanca are satisfactory. While they may not be particularly remarkable, they are durable and serve their purpose well. The tiles and tokens are easy to handle, ensuring that the tactile aspect of the game is enjoyable. Additionally, the cards shuffle smoothly and are easy to manage, making the game accessible for players of all levels. Overall, the quality of the components meets expectations for a game of this nature. Where Salamanca truly shines is in its gameplay. Every aspect is designed to encourage strategic thinking and planning. Players must carefully consider how to play their cards, select tiles, and determine the optimal times to occupy buildings or place conde tokens. The decision-making process is rich and rewarding, as players strive to maximize their advantages while anticipating opponents' moves. The gameplay is best at 4 or 5 players, where the interactions become particularly dynamic. Players must assess the best tiles to place and how their actions will impact not only their own strategy, but also their opponents. The choice of when to occupy a building with a squire token can significantly influence the game, as it can establish control over valuable regions or deny opponents access to critical resources. Additionally, players must strategically decide when to deploy their conde tokens. Placing a conde on an opponent's building can disrupt their plans, but timing is crucial. Doing so too early may invite retaliatory actions. The tactical layer added by the Grande tokens encourages players to think several moves ahead, predicting how their opponents will react and adjusting their strategies accordingly. One of the game's standout features is the timing of selling regions. Knowing when to cash in on your investments before opponents can disrupt your plans with plagues adds a layer of depth and strategy. The threat of plagues not only adds urgency to the gameplay, but also forces players to constantly reassess the value of their regions. Selling at the right moment can lead to a significant boost in doubloons, while hesitating can result in devastating losses. The gameplay is dynamic and engaging, with rounds moving at a brisk pace, particularly in larger groups. The interactions between players create a lively atmosphere, as alliances form and dissolve, and players jockey for position. Though the game typically lasts about an hour, it often feels much shorter due to its fast-paced nature. The strategic depth ensures that no two games feel the same, with each session offering new challenges and opportunities. In summary, Salamanca is an excellent game that combines strategic depth with engaging mechanics. It offers a tactile experience that is both dynamic and immersive. Players who enjoy titles like Tigris and Euphrates, New England, and El Grande will likely find Salamanca to be a perfect addition to their collection. With its elegant design and thoughtful gameplay, Salamanca is sure to provide hours of enjoyment for strategy enthusiasts. I'm starting to share my favorite games from my collection, so be sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on today's game. Until next time, take care. Peace.